students, greetings from Chitkara University. I am Narendra Garcha and I specialize in the area of sales and marketing. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to this session on marketing management. And today we'll be discussing about marketing planning process, which is a systematic approach to developing marketing goals, strategies, implementation tactics, and this is adapted by a wide variety of situations, right from launching a new firm or to repositioning an existing firm, or maybe having a routine planning for a new business development activities. Let's look at what are going to be the benefits of marketing planning process. It definitely encourages you to revisit all assumption because we have our own ways of thinking. We probably would also like to explore once again whatever we've been thinking about the market or the process. Do we really need to change? We definitely have certain trends, earlier trends or patterns which needs to be re-explored before we get into the final document of marketing planning process. It definitely reduces the risk because we are trying to add new facts to it based on whatever information that we've been able to gather from the market. It provides accountability definitely because once we have a job defined for everyone, then probably the responsibility for executing that particular task is fixed. So there's a lot of accountability, and marketing process helps guiding people and telling them as to what they need to do, what piece they need to own when it comes to execution of the strategy. It's a proactive rather than reactive process, yes, rather than just straight away going to the market and exploring the market and probably failing. It is always good to have a proactive approach to explore as to what the market challenges would be, as to what kind of hindrance or roadblocks they may have. So based on that, a marketing planning process would depend on a proactive approach rather than reactive approach. It can become a competitive advantage because you are trying your level best to offer value proposition to the customers. So marketing planning process would also entail as to how are you going to have that kind of differential advantage. It could be at product level, it could be at process level, it could be at people level, it could be at promotion level, or it could be at the accessibility of the product. It could be at that level as well, and it could be at pricing level also. So everything is analyzed, everything is discussed, and this definitely gives an organization an upper edge, and this is beneficial for the organization while they're planning their strategies through the marketing planning process, so that they can have that kind of edge over the competition. Now, what marketing planning process entails? It would talk about mission, SWOT analysis, goals and strategy formulation, implementation, feedback, and control. You know, everything starts with the corporate goals. And these goals are set by the top management, the board of directors, and then we have vision and mission statements. Now, vision is a desired future state, and it could be an inspirational statement as well. Whereas mission is how to achieve those goals or how to realize that vision. SWOT analysis, yes, where these organizations try and look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat, both internally and externally as well. Then there's goal and strategy formulation, where they try and build strategies to accomplish their goals. That if this is the vision, this is the mission, probably these are the strategies which will help us align us with the vision and mission and goals of the organization. Then comes the implementation part as to how, if this is the goal, how are they going to implement the strategies? What are the things or what are the resources they need to have in place? And then feedback and control. They'll look at and examine the changing environment, because we live in a very, very dynamic world. Things are changing very fast. Things are changing overnight. And then what are the strategies to accomplish those goals? So these are the factors which are taken into consideration when a marketing planning process is evolved or it's planned. So marketing planning process, I was talking that mission remains one of its key ingredient, and mission is all about how an organization can benefit its customers or consumers. And mission statement is used by company to explain in a simple and concise way the purpose of being. It is generally short. I'm just sharing with you a mission statement of Tata International, which goes to be the most reliable global network for customers and suppliers that delivers value through products and services, to be responsible value creator for all stakeholders. So this is an example of a mission statement that I'm sharing with you, and this is from Tata International. So this completely tells us as to how are they going to achieve their mission. And they mentioned here that they have this plan to impact customers and suppliers in a positive way so that they can deliver value, and they can also create value for all the stakeholders. Moving on, marketing planning process would also include SWOT analysis. As I shared with you, both internally and externally, they look at the internal environment, and they'll also look at the external environment as well. So if they have to look at strengths, they will try and find out, they try and explore as to where the strength lies. Is it in terms of human capital, the kind of people they have hired, the capabilities that they've been able to build at people level, or how's their production capacity looking like? Is that their strength? Is their distribution network a strength for them? So everything is analyzed, and because we've seen that the internal factors are controllable, whereas external factors are not controllable. You cannot control. So it's always good to control the controllables. Though you can have a proactive approach to take care of the external environment based on certain patterns, certain trends that you see, or the kind of feedback that travels back from the market. All these companies are striving hard all the time to have a competitive advantage as compared to the competition. And that's the reason they try and innovate their products and services with as much as they can to offer a superior experience to the customer, to woo the customer. So they try and look at the strength of their product and services. Is their product and services being perceived in a more positive manner than the competitor? Are they offering any added feature and advantage that will help them reach out to more customers, maybe sell more and have more growth and income? And then they also try and look at the weaknesses, where are they underperforming? What are their weak points within the organization? Is it that they need to have right kind of people at the right place? They've not been able to hire the right talent. And I'll just give you an example. Suppose you hire somebody who heads the supply chain management department, and that person is not capable. Just imagine what kind of results or what kind of revenue this organization will have. Maybe there could be a complete collapse, because supply chain plays a major role in the overall performance of the organization. Then what is limiting them to succeed? Are there paucity of resources within? Is it some financial constraints within that are limiting them to go all out and have a great strategy or marketing planning process in place and go and execute it? So everything is taken into consideration. Then comes the opportunity. Are they, what kind of untapped market they can be looking at? We've seen what is the potential of new business, because there are organizations who keep on researching the market all the time. That if they are good in one particular segment, how can they move to the different segment? Can they have a complementary product which will help them get access to a different age group segment altogether? They've been doing well with a youngster, but then can they now, focus on the kid segment also? So this keeps on happening because there's an opportunity in the market. They need to explore that opportunity in the market, and this is that they have to create their own marketing planning process. But then there would be threats also. We are talking about external environment, and you actually cannot control the external environment. You can be a little proactive and plan accordingly. So there could be a lot of obstacle, and it could be some political consideration, the setup of the country itself, technological advancement, and we know it keeps on changing all the time. It's so dynamic. We live in a VUCA world. The economic situation, all these factors are not within the control of the organization. But still, they have to keep all this in mind while they are trying to have a formidable, a successful marketing planning process in place. Because if they go wrong here, this can be detrimental as far as the existence of that very organization is concerned. Marketing planning process would also include goals and strategic formulation, because goals indicate what corporate wants to achieve. And I shared with you that the corporate goals are formulated or built at the top management level. The board of directors would get into planning what their goals look like. What is the kind of vision they have for the organization, say 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years down the line. And then strategy is the game plan as to how they're going to achieve the goal. Goals, when they are getting formulated, they need to be smart. They need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They may need to be achievable. They need to be realistic, and they need to be time bound. Because if your goals are not smart, you will not be able to achieve the desired results which an organization wants to achieve in that stipulated time frame. Strategic formulation, marketing plan to achieve goals. So one is that you already have your goal in place, and then to achieve those goals, you need to have a strategy in place. So in marketing planning process, actually you're trying to explore different strategies as to how do you achieve your ultimate goal. So what kind of target audience you're gonna impact. Now, I shared with you earlier, there are a lot of pharmaceutical companies, those who would enter the market. It is not that they start selling to all the segments. It is not that they start selling to anyone and everyone. Maybe if they have injectables, they would say, oh, these injectables are used more in top-end hospitals. So they may decide that these are the hospital which probably they're going to impact. And this is the kind of patient type where they would like to target. So this is a part of strategy, not that going for everything and anything in the market, because that will not give them the kind of focus they want to look forward to. Identify and set a marketing budget that, okay, if I have to take this to my customer, how much do I spend in marketing, and what is the plank that I would use to market my product? Would it be direct marketing, indirect marketing? Will I use the digital platform? How much money do I spend on promotions? How much money do I spend on product innovation? How much money do I spend on distribution? So everything needs to be taken into account. And then developing marketing mix decision, very, very important. They need to look at the product, they need to look at the pricing, they need to look at the place, they need to look at the promotion. Can they add more features in the product in order to beat competition? What is the pricing policy? Will they have a customized pricing policy? Will they keep their product little, the pricing little higher than the competition, or lower, or same? And how are they going to promote their product? Would they have some events, or would they have a sales force team in place to take their products or strategies to the customer? So everything needs to be taken into consideration before a strategy is formulated. Once the strategy is formulated, then comes in the implementation part as to how would they implement, how would they put their plan into action? How will they launch their product? Will they have a specific day for that? What detailing they need to have as far as launch of plan is concerned? How many customers would they target? How many customers in each day they like to meet if they have to achieve their, because the entire plan is then probably broken into different segments, different time frames, so that it becomes easier for the team which is working for that organization to eventually achieve the goal of the organization. How will they reach out to the customer? As I shared with you, would there be direct marketing or indirect marketing? What are the activities they do at operational level? Will there be some buzz that they will like to do initially in terms of advertisement? They'll go heavy, they go strong as far as initial promotion or advertisement is concerned, and then later on they kind of taper it down. So it's a very complex process, dear students. It's not easy, because the success of any professional organization depends on the success of the marketing plan or process that they've been able to build. So they need to keep this in mind big time, that if they get the marketing planning process wrong, it can lead to adverse and unfavorable results as far as the growth of the organization is concerned, because then they will not be able to achieve their targets or achieve their goals. Well, feedback and control mechanism is also a part of marketing planning process, where they're trying to examine the changing environment. Because we live in a VUCA world, things are very dynamic, they change overnight. So based on the feedback they get, that they say, okay, this is probably how we're gonna do the course correction. And this is how we're going to monitor as to how we are performing in the market. Are our strategies really working the way we want them to work? Regular feedback to measure and evaluate results of the plan, that how are they going to review their progress? It is not only about creating a plan or just implementing that plan. It is also about reviewing the plan, because review will help them understand as to where are they heading. Are they heading in the right direction, or are they heading in a wrong direction? So review and monitoring becomes one of the key mechanism as far as the success of any great marketing planning process is concerned. So this will help them improve results based on feedback and monitoring. And they'll also monitor action of competitors, that how are they going to monitor the action of competitors? Would there be any process that they will put in place? Because you'll see, if I have to talk about the FMCG sector, there's price benchmarking that keeps on happening every day. I would say every day. You know, their team would visit different outlets in the if I have to talk about modern trade or general trade, they keep on saying what are the price. There's certain products which are so volatile that you may see a different price in the morning and a completely different price in the evening. So that also needs to be monitored, because if you're not monitoring, if you're not benchmarking your product with the competition, probably then the competitors, they'll have an edge over a particular organization, because probably they would be selling at much lesser cost and gaining more access, gaining more sales, more revenues, more income. And whereas an organization which is not keeping abreast of what competitors are doing, what kind of price benchmarking they are doing, I don't think then the other one will even be able to survive. The marketing planning process, it involves series of steps. They need to say as to where are we now. So there's a lot of marketing audits that are being done. There are a lot of mystery audits also to be done, at service level. So they try and find out that where have they reached? Are they on the right track or not? So there's ratio analysis, trying to understand the financial health of the organization through the financial statement. There's a lot of competitor analysis that happen. Because that gives them some direction, because you are competing with someone. They are there in the market. They've been able to grab a portion of the potential buyers. So that becomes a starting point for you, that if this is the kind of market share they have, now this is the kind of market share we need to have. So from competitors, we will grab 50% of the market or 60% of the market, and do customer analysis, because customer tastes, preferences, they keep on changing from time to time. So they also try and look at where do they want to be, what is their mission and objective, what kind of segmentation, targeting, or promotion they need to have in place, what are the marketing strategies they need to be working on. I talked to you about marketing mix in terms of product, in terms of pricing, in terms of place, in terms of promotion. So what kind of plan they will have, or plan they would have when it comes to marketing mix, and how can they ensure arrival, trying to look at problems and trying to overcome that and have management control. What would be the best way of looking at the marketing? Would they be applying certain models to it, or would they have the routine way of screening it, which may take more time? So everything needs to be kept into mind while having a marketing planning process in place. Now we're trying to look at types of planning. It could be strategic, or it could be tactical planning that one can have. So the word strategic, what does it mean? That means they need to have a long-term plan in place. Strategic intent is more about having a broad focus, covering competitive positioning and development of new products, because an organization would not like to leave the market to say after 2 years or 5 years. They come with a long-term vision. And if you have, or if an organization has a long-term vision, they need to have a broad focus. They need to see how they're going to position the product vis-a-vis the market, vis-a-vis the competition, and what kind of new products they need to have, what kind of innovation they need to have in place, so that they have a sustainable presence and a sustainable growth in the market. Because we've seen companies like Tata, they are into different and diverse product lines. They have different strategies for their different product line. They have different teams for their different product lines. And what is their strategic planning? It is long term. And look at the kind of products they've been working upon. They have their own research set up. Say from 10 years from now or 5 years from now, these are the products which are going to hit the market, based on competition, based on the preferences of the customer. And that will help them build a formidable marketing planning process and a strategy. So most of the big organizations, if you look at, they have a strategic planning in place where they take a very broad view of the market. It's not a narrow or a skewed view of the market that we're taking. They're trying to cover competitive positioning as to how would the competition also move. Look, you cannot undermine the presence of competition. You cannot take the competition lightly that, okay, I have a great product in place. Uh, I'm a big brand. We've seen a lot of brands, moving away from the market completely. You know about Nokia, what happened to Nokia? And then suddenly Android took over because they were looking, if I talk about Samsung, I think they were keenly observing the market. And they were also looking at what are the weaknesses of their competitor. And the moment they found that this is how the market is behaving, these are the wants and needs of the customer, which Nokia is not able to understand. They immediately, they introduced something which was a big hit. And people, we know that Samsung has a great market share today if we talk about Android technology. So they had taken a broad view that, okay, if this is competitive positioning, this is how we are going to position our product. This is how we're going to talk to or interact with the customer, that our product is better, our features are better, our technology is more user friendly as compared to what existed before. But there's some organization, those who do not change at all. They still do their original line of doing things, and they pay a price for that. So again, strategic, and then Samsung would be thinking which kind of what all models they need to launch, what all technologies they need to have, all kind of collaborations they need to have, what kind of communication message they need to build over a period of time, so that they are able to achieve their long-term goals. Because it all starts with goals, I told you. So they have strategic planning in place which helps them achieve their goals. So similarly, we also need to understand that an organization will not enter any market just to be there for a short period of time and then maybe get some benefits out of it and then just vanish. There could be few organizations, but then those are not professional organizations. If you're talking about Tata's, if you're talking about Apple, if you're talking about Samsung, if you're talking about HUL, if you're talking about companies like GlaxoSmithKline, they've been there for now ages. But what keeps them relevant? What keeps them going in different situations is their ability to have a great strategic planning in place. Had they not had this strategic planning in place, probably they would have also vanished from the market. So that's the reason it is very, very important, and it is imperative to have strategic planning in place. And when it comes to strategic planning, for the planning process itself, there's a huge budget. They need to get the best brains. They hire the best brains when it comes to have a great plan in place also. If I talk about marketing department now, there's a full-fledged marketing department in all professional organizations. So they get the best of the brains from the best of the institutes, because if they're getting something wrong here, this may be detrimental for the organization. Whereas tactical marketing plan will focus on short term. The focus is going to be short term, and it will be on day-to-day marketing activities, including what kind of pricing do I have today, what kind of customer communication, what kind of promotion can I have, can I, since we've introduced this new strategy in the market, can we have some more buzz around it, can we give some coupons to the customer. So this is more day to day. This is more business like, rather than being having that kind of strategic intent which we've seen in strategic planning, which is long term, whereas tactical planning is more short term. If we really have to look at what strategic versus tactical is, if you're looking at time frame, yes, strategic is long term, tactical is short. Focus is broad, narrow, key task defining market and competitive position. because this is strategic. And in case of tactical, it is day-to-day marketing activity. So that this is if today we have to achieve some gains in the market, so maybe let's implement this strategy today and we'll gain something out of it. Maybe we'll be able to sell more today, or maybe we'll be able to impact this segment more today. So that is how they look at the tactical plan. Strategic is speculative because they're looking at a desired state. They're saying if we do this, say 10 years from now, we'll reach here, or 20 years from now, we will reach here, or 15 years from now, we will reach here. So it's speculative. Whereas tactical is structured, internal, repetitive, structure in the sense they know that today this activity for these many customers with this kind of budget, and this will lead to this result. So this is what we need to keep in mind when we talk about we're looking at strategic and tactical. Strategic is more about segmentation, and whereas tactical is more about price discounting, campaigns that an organization may have. So dear students, I'm sharing some more references with you. This will help you gain more insights into this topic. So thank you for your time. Take good care of yourselves. Stay healthy and stay safe. And God bless.